tell the difference.
Because he also adapted for hooks, right?
Mm-hmm. You can do hooks. You can do, there's mainly, I mean, depending on lineage or whatever, 16 to 19 basic ideas punching.
Right.
You can decide from there how you're going to manipulate that. Let me give you an example. Let's say his hand is out here. I'm covering Chaap Kuen. Chaap Kuen is a low punch. Now, whether I do this, or maybe I don't have to punch that low, I can punch a little bit up here and just still use vertical punching and hit there. Whatever the case. But listen to what I got to say. Here we go. If I was to take UG, and by the way, hook punch is Kuen. Aukueen.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's not a Wing Chun move.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that in a BG, I will go here, and I will come back with a ginger fist, which is the knuckles right here, before you, just almost by the time you get to the fingernails. You're using the knuckles right here before you get to the main punching knuckles, and you'll scrape. Now, if I can do this and go here, what do you think it looks like to anybody else? It looks like you're hook punching, right? Now, that said that, Chaap Kuen means low punch. Here we go. Quiz time. It says low punch. Did it say what type of low punch? And that's the whole point when I did a horizontal fist, and I did a vertical down at the ribs. Didn't say what. It just said low punch. So it's a matter of interpretation.
Because at the seminar you had this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have to open your mind up to the possibilities that certain things can be played certain ways based off the definitions of the words. If you just look at the Wing Chun dictionary and all you can go onto the Hampton Hong Shogun M.A. Website on WordPress and see it, because I saved it. And when you look at it, it doesn't seem like anything until you keep reading. And the more you keep reading, then you have to start asking questions. Can that be plausible? But the whole point is, no one, when you read a dictionary and you learn these things, you have to figure out, is this definition a bendable definition? Right? Does it have to be done this way or that way? Like
your analogy earlier, the sentences you were doing, the cat ran, the
Mhm.
punch went. Then you start adding adjectives in, the low punch, the high punch,
there you go.
the shifting punch. Yeah, all kinds of adjectives to change it up.
Because, like, for example, if I did Chaap Kuen and I turn this way, and in one of the cases when you turn this way, you punch, and this comes back as a pull, this comes out. But if I was to stand straight, look, the punch is in an angle. This is called Doi Gak Kuen. It's still Yachi Chun Choi, but it's at an angle. Doi Gak Kuen just means it's at an angle. So then what happens is from this point, even when I low punch, if I was to go at an angle from this point, I have a Doi Gak Kuen. If it's not the fact that I'm just standing right over here and not just straight punching or whatever, I have Doi Gak Kuen here. Even if it's low. You know, I can make Doi Gak Kuen Lung. Doi Gak Lung Kuen. Right? And it's a dragon punch using the mid knuckle, low punching at an angle. Think about it. Possibilities are endless. What becomes stupid is if you watch these other Wing Chun people, if you're doing all this kind of stuff, you're not going to get it because sometimes they keep it so basic. And then you see these fights and Wing Chun is losing like it ain't got no draws on. And the reason why is sometimes you get so dogmatic and you believe in your own system so much, and I'm guilty, that then you lose sight of what truly the system is. You know, I got students now that are fighting or sparring with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu players right now. And what makes it special is they're using Wing Chun. They're not using Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They don't know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. How are they holding up? They shouldn't even, for all we know, Wing Chun is supposed to be just standing up, and you do this, and you look real cool, and you start looking like this, like you do Ip Man, and then all of a sudden you start throwing elbows like you're gonna break someone's knuckles and all this kind of stuff. How's it working? If you're short-minded and only in the present tense of things, you'll never see the future because you're too busy looking at the trees and you ain't seen the forest. If I look at an oak tree versus a spruce tree, still a tree. I'm just having to live under the organizational, the ordination, or whatever of what a spruce tree is compared to an oak tree. If I walk, and I've done this, if I walk into an MMA school and I try to spar them, I'm not going to Wing Chun them like they think I'm going to Wing Chun them. I have to abide by the laws of that school and work with it. Mm-hmm. I can't just go in there and thinking I'm Ip Man versus 10 black belts and crushing people's skulls and stuff. That's not gonna happen. Nope. And most of y'all Wing Chun people ain't got the gall to stomp those skulls. You have to have a very special, that's a movie, okay? Yeah. The last time anybody stomped a skull with Wing Chun was probably Vietnam. Okay, where it counts. You know, I'm just being honest. So if you have to get out of the movie bubble, that includes the haters. Y'all just fall in a movie bubble. If that's the case, guess what? Ho Wing Jaw is the next up. And right now, Ho Wing Jaw got like a couple of movies, TV series going on right now. Go pick on them too. You know, go pick on the new it's right there. Go pick on the new Wong Fei Hong. It's 2-3 new Wong Fei Hong movies. There are about 4-5 Ho Wing Jaw movies plus some TV series already out right now. If that's the only thing you do is jump on the trend wagon and start hating, you're putting yourself in a box, even with that.
There's something cool you said, and it's related to all this, is the tree thing. When people see the Wing Chun losing online that are the more dogmatic ones, the Wing Chun that ends up winning that is seen online, people's like, well, that just looks like boxing and stuff. Why do you think it looks like that? Because they're all trees. There's the subtle differences there.
Right.
Is what's important. So yeah, fighting's gonna look like fighting a lot of times. It's just the subtle things.
And another thing is, one last thing before I shut this video off. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of messages and send-offs, and they always want to send me this. So far, it's the video. You already know the video. Kevin Lee getting his butt whipped,
Oh,
or
with
at least
Jesse.
it looked like with Jesse. Now, he didn't really get his butt kicked. Nobody in that video got their butt kicked, okay? But they did have some trade-offs. I'm going to say this with all due respect. Here it is. Kevin Lee is learning a lot of martial arts at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to hold true to each martial art, period. Fine. I get it. Just like I said, a spruce tree and an oak tree is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Wing Chun people are not the same either. And it's sometimes more than just lineages. If I was to go into, one of the other Sifus that had died a while back, Will's teacher, is Sifu Robert McClung, much respect, rest in peace. He does Wing Chun and Kali, and a lot of times whenever you hear the phrase Wing Chun and Kali, 9 times out of 10 is what you call a Don and Santo type school. Mm-hmm. It means you have Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do is your Wing Chun. You have Kali, as in basically, well, Kali, Eskrima, Arnis. You're talking about the Indonesian martial arts.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So there's a mix of different things there. And a lot of times in those schools, you'll have kickboxing, you'll have, you'll understand boxing, kickboxing, you'll have, so in some cases, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A lot of the Don and Santo schools have a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in it now, all these things. So when y'all watch Kevin Lee, y'all seeing all of that. There's no mistaking that. What I said was not false. You look it up. And then in the last number of years, probably the last 10, 15 or so years, is that his name, Francis?
Francis Fong?
Francis Fong, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there inside of the Daniel Santo schools teaching Wing Chun. I don't know how good he is. I mean, he's pretty good for what he does. True. I'm not going to ever disrespect that. I just want you to realize Kevin got a lot on his plate. I think if you give him about 3, 4 more good years, he's going to be freaking explosive. Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that, I'm going to pause this. I want y'all to go to the next video. And I'm going to show you what's Wing Chun and where it went wrong. Just a part 1, a little bit, a little tiny bit.